Aquarians out there. So please make sure to get the book at Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. The links will be in the description box below as usual. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share the video if you'd like to contact me for a personal reading. My email address as well as the prices are in the description box below. And they're more than fair. So let's get into it. All right. So the cards that I come up with for the Aquarians are the Five of Wands, the World, the Fool, the Ten of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, the Death card, the Hierophant, the Ten of Wands, and the Emperor. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 10. So half the reading is major arcana. Okay. So that's interesting. A lot of messages that needs to be talked about. Okay. So Five of Wands, the World. This is about you Aquarians. Again, this is the beginning of the year. Five of Wands, choosing. Some of you will choose to move forward, especially away from the people who, you know, want to bicker and argue. You know what I mean? Those types of people, you got to leave them alone. They're oftentimes weird, right? The world represents seeing more opportunities, which is good. You know, that's how it is that you create success, is seeing an opportunity and knowing what an opportunity is, having an idea of an opportunity and taking action on that. So the Fool, the Ten of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. So the Fool, the Ten of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. Very interesting, because the Fool, and the Ten of Cups is about like, and the Four of Pentacles. The Fool is someone taking action, trying to flirt with you, say what's up, engage, interact. The Ten of Cups represents them shooting their shot, trying to let you know that they're interested. The Four of Pentacles represents this being a situation for a lot of you where the Four of Pentacles is about them wanting to come talk to you for a little while now. The Ace of Pentacles and the Death card represents you, Aquarians, telling them no, right? Or trying your best to turn them down as easily as possible, right? Sometimes that doesn't necessarily happen with Aquarius because Aquarius rules over the 11th house, and the 11th house deals with hidden enemies. The 6th house, which is what Virgo naturally rules over, is known enemies. But at the same time, Aquarius is the higher octave of Virgo. Virgo is the lower octave of Aquarius. You see what I mean? So the internet is Aquarius when it first came out, but then the more it was used, it became a mercurial thing. So they go hand in hand ultimately. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that because it represents the hidden enemies, a lot of the times when you're trying to make friends with people or just kind of, you know, deal with people from a civil perspective, a lot of times people won't necessarily think of this situation as being what they wanted or what they deserved, right? So they think that, you know, you Aquarians could potentially play them and stuff like this, right? And I know that too because I have Aquarius in my chart. And like, you know, oftentimes I can understand that perspective because a so-called friend and stuff like this, you know, will oftentimes be upset at you and stuff over something that's not really there per se. Especially, I do want to say this, right? Because Aquarius can be one of those zodiac signs that can cause their own mischief. But I will say that this applies even more so, especially if you're an Aquarius that strives to be as fair and as good as possible, right? And as upright as possible. Yeah, a lot of people will kind of get in your way, be upset at you, be mad at you, you know what I mean? I have so many, me personally, because I have Aquarius in my chart in the 11th house, in Saturn, which is Aquarius's natural ruler first, and then it was Uranus. in the 11th house, which is the place that it was in, this represents how a lot of this represents, or this kind of energy for any of you Aquarians, right? This represents how, like, you know, often too, one thing that you need to watch out for is that you find out that a lot of your friends are secretly in love with you. That's another thing too, right? And the strong disliking and the anger comes from them kind of low-key being in love with you, right? Regardless of whoever it is. And it's kind of like, now it's like they kind of get almost like, you know what I mean? They kind of get almost like forceful with it. Like they trying to force themselves onto you. So that's one thing a lot of you Aquarians need to watch out for, right? Kind of a secret of Aquarius, which I'm going to get into later on. And then you have the Hierophant, the Ten of Wands, and the Emperor. So the Hierophant, right, represents like, the Hierophant is usually a ritual, like in old days, in ancient days, it represents the person to ritualistically carry out essentially a person to perform a ritual, okay? A person who was looked at, it was to perform a ritual and to also perform stories and may even do spells and stuff like this. That's what it is that a ritual, that's what it is a Hierophant was. But a magician and a Hierophant was separate in the sense that a Hierophant is a person that may have a following, and a magician may be an individual. You understand what I'm saying? So the things that the Ten of Wands and the Emperor, the Ten of Wands represents like moving forward, meeting your opportunities, wanting to meet your financial opportunities, your ideas. Some of you Aquarians may have a lot of ideas, striving to push forward, especially if you're running your own businesses, Aquarians or air signs, or the type of zodiac signs or the elements that kind of start trying to run their own business, right? Donald Trump, stuff like this is a Gemini, right? You know, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just using the whole Donald Trump thing as an example, being an air sign and essentially creating their own businesses, because that's what a lot of air signs like to do. And then you have the Emperor. Again, not necessarily wanting to work for anybody else and wanting to call your own shots. And the best way to do that, again, I've said this many a times, privately and here, is to start your own business, you know? So let's clarify the Emperor. YouTube may not like that. YouTube may not like that. It's like, I'm just making an example here, right? Don't trip. The Emperor, again, to clarify the Emperor, the Ten of Pentacles, the Hierophant, which we already have. But we're just going to pull one more card, because you can't clarify something with the same card, right? And then the King of Cups. So this is about how a lot of you Aquarians can ultimately do yourself a service, especially if you're trying to create your own business, with number one, having a plan, and also hiring people later on down the line. And if not necessarily hiring people short-term to do the job for you, right? For tax purposes and other things. Wink, wink, hint, hint. So the Hierophant and the King of Cups now represents how this is a situation for a lot of you Aquarians, where the Hierophant, like I said, is the person that is will be exalted. So people will admire you for starting your own businesses, maybe even investing in another. And the King of Cups represents that level of emotional, mental stability, because you have more of abundance. You have so many riches, or you're creating it to the point where you can literally afford to sit back and chill, because the finances is starting to come in. So not necessarily really too worried about love as of right now. Not saying that love isn't a focal point for y'all, but what I'm saying is blinders on, wanting to start your own stuff. So that's pretty much it. Comment, like, subscribe. Peace.